I'm wearing the blue necklace again because I wore it to teach class. They don't know I wore this yesterday because the class only meets once a week. And I really love this necklace. Like, I want to order it in every color. It's got felt on the background. Like, it's just, I love this. I love this necklace. What I didn't love was stepping in cat puke, as I was trying to set up. But instead of just throwing a napkin over it, being like, I'll get to it later, I just cleaned it up. I cleaned it up. This way I don't have to do it later. I did that for future me. Because I love future me. And present me took the hit for her. I'm on the new phone again. I didn't think it was terrible last time. See, I have earrings that are a little different this time. I'm still experimenting. I did have my niche selection consult. I have great ideas, but for an automated faceless channel, I didn't have good ideas. My ideas are too reliant on me being the teacher. So there's a niche we're going to work on, but my other ideas are still going to happen. I hope this is the summer of writing from Wheelchair to Warrior. I finished writing it. It's written, I just have to edit it together coherently. How I spent 2 years in a wheelchair and then got up out of the wheelchair and discovered a lot about myself on the search. You'll relate, I think. And working on YouTube stuff. I explained to my class tonight, I said, your job should be your passion, something you enjoy doing, something you want to do for between 40 and 70 hours a week. But what you love to do, what fulfills you, what you feel your life purpose is, might not be the thing that makes you a lot of money. Therefore, you need to learn a little entrepreneurship. You need to learn how to generate passive income. Once you have your education, you need an education on top of that education. How to bring in enough income to pay off your student loans. Isn't that funny? One of my loan payments, now I have quite a bit of student loan debt, and I'm not looking to get it dismissed. I'm looking for a fair shake. One of my student loan payments is, it's a low loan, there's a bunch of them, is $79 a month. $79 a month. $45 of that is interest. Yeah, that's well over half of the $79 a month. How is that fair? You don't have to take away the debt. Just let my payments go toward the principal instead of fattening up the pockets of these people profiting off of students. Give us a break. Yeah, because banks and lending institutions, they just need more money. Yeah, okay. And then they turn everyone against the students. Well, we didn't tell you to get into debt. You didn't tell me the interest was going to be this high. And that I'd be paying for however many years. And not make a dent in the principal. Anyway, it's not the topic of tonight's episode. Tonight's episode is about vibrations. I know they sound like airy-fairy things. And when I teach this in class, this is my religion and culture class that I'm talking about, I always give them a scientific explanation of the same thing. Kind of ease them into these ideas. And tonight we talked about shamanism and mindset and mind over matter and belief and faith. Faith the size of a mustard seed. And then we talked about vibrations. One video was of a shaman who is, he trained, he was mentored, he put the work in, but he seemed to be American. He didn't seem to be of an indigenous background. I mean, I could look it up, but I said, it depends on the person being worked on. If you believe that you'll be helped, if you have faith that this person can help you, they can help you. Now, whether or not they can move energy around and do healing work on you, that's up to you to believe or not believe that. I can't tell you that. I'll hint at it. You know what my beliefs are. But I need to just give them options and explanations. And then I said, working on an adult who understands and can choose to have faith and who can choose to believe that this, he was shaking rattles, like literally shaking rattles and doing sound therapy and a lot of different shamanistic healing practices in this video. But let's say he worked on, there was a woman sitting in the waiting area with a baby. Baby doesn't have language yet, so what if something that this shaman does heals the baby? Or right after this healing session, the baby no longer shows symptoms of whatever illness it is. Then I have to say, well, it's not mind over matter there. It's either a coincidence that the baby had a relief from symptoms right after this healing session, because coincidence is always an explanation, not always an accurate one in my book. Or this person has a talent for moving energy and creating healing. It's a matter of belief. And so, I did the scientific explanations of things and how our reticular activation system, if it's programmed to look for a certain something, will find it, and, all different ways that placebo effect, mind over matter, power of suggestion, hypnosis, all of those things work. And then I showed a few minutes of Dr. Mumbi. She is a healing, she might call herself a priestess, she might call herself a scholar. She's from Kenya. And she talked about vibrations in food. How we can transmit our feelings the moment of preparing the food into the person who will eat the food. Now, if you know the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto, The Message from Water, yes, I know it's been debunked. Not to my satisfaction, it hasn't. You can debunk away. I believe in spirits. I believe in energy. I didn't say those precise words in class, but I let Dr. Mumbi say them. And she said, be careful of restaurant foods. The people who work at restaurants, and I'm not talking about high-end, 5-star, 4-star, whatever restaurant. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the average restaurant that throws so much soybean oil into their food, it's unrecognizable. Fast food, cheap, easy food. How these underpaid people who may or may not really like and love the customers are transmitting their emotions vibrationally into the food. This is what Dr. Mumbi said. I'm not saying anything, but I am. What was the name of that movie? Was it Chocolat? And it talked about she used to infuse her foods with love or something. It was a while ago. I saw that movie. Or there's a water bar here in town. It's in Montclair, and they not only is it ultra filtered through multiple crystals and copper wire and everything you can do to clean up and structure water, but they put intentions into the water. Health, wealth, prosperity, freedom, love. You could think it's just really good water, makes really good coffee, or you can believe there's an intention in the water. But again, this could just be power of suggestion. Or Dr. Mumbi is correct, and others who are like her, that believe everything is energy, and therefore we can put the energy of our feelings into the foods we prepare. And one of my students said, oh, I could tell you the unhappy years I spent as a cook. If somebody had a ridiculous request or kept sending their food back because they wanted it cut in 4s instead of 8s or something, he's like, I actively put anger into their food. Like, well, it's, I understand the temptation. Good thing you didn't spit in the food. But yeah, I think we forget that the people preparing and serving our food are working for very low wages. And they didn't come up with the recipes. They are executing recipes from a corporate office. They did not choose their ingredients. This isn't soul food. Notice how soul food is very homemade. That's why they call it soul food. So Dr. Mumbi, look her up. It's hashtag something Africa in the title. But if you look her up, Dr. Mumbi, and she has a wonderful video about restaurant food and the vibrations in food. And she says this is negative energy. Angry, underpaid people. Sad, underpaid people using fakey ingredients that aren't good for our health. I posted on Facebook today. Only one person dissented. I think he's just contrarian. I don't know. And I posted the ingredients in a certain fast food sandwich chain, not hamburger chain, a sandwich chain. And it was a chicken with teriyaki, let's call it that. And just the dry ingredients. So it didn't say anything about the chicken, didn't say anything about the sauce. It just listed the dry ingredients. And my friend from back in the day said, well, what is the problem here? I mean, the list here just lists the standard bunch of emulsifiers and flavor enhancers and preservatives. I'm like, yes, that is exactly the problem. Standard emulsifiers and ingredient, like, oh my God, how could you think this highly inflammatory, allergenic food is good for people? Of course it's highly preserved. It's prepared someplace, not even the restaurant. It comes in pouches. You ever see how soft serve ice cream is made? Because back in the 80s and early 90s, I worked at the movie theater, and sometimes they would put me at the ice cream kiosk or frozen yogurt kiosk or whatever. It comes in these giant sacks. And it has some sort of spout that you break open, and then you dump this liquidy substance into the freezing machine where it has to churn and churn, and then it comes out as soft serve. The list of ingredients was criminal. What are the ingredients in actual ice cream? Cream? Sugar? You could use any kind of sugar, really. Honey, agave, raw sugar, stevia, like whatever, monk fruit, whatever floats your ice creamy boat. Ah, my cat continues to throw up for me. I hope you can't hear that. It's like a dog. He just eats too fast and then ucka ucka. Thanks. I'm not going to stop the video to clean it up, but I will clean it up as soon as I'm done. Yeah, so the list of ingredients. Milk solids, corn syrup, like it was just an ugly list of things you don't put in ice cream. What's in ice cream? Cream, a sweetener of some sort, and whatever flavor you're putting in, whether it's fruit or cocoa or vanilla, and that's it. No, don't come on the table now. What are you gonna puke on my table? He's all right. He knows I'm not mad. Yeah, those are the ingredients. Well, but I mean, it has to come from a warehouse and it has to be transported, and then, it gets to the place and it has to be able to. What if it sits on the loading dock for a long time? It'll go bad if you don't. Yeah, that's the problem. This convenience, this having to transport it from place to place. And so by the time it gets into our bodies, it's just toxic sludge that's hard to digest. Oh, gee, why do I have GERD? Well, let me take some GERD medicine. You mean to decrease your stomach acid? That's trying desperately to break down this fakey food that's just a lot of industrial waste oils that they found a use for? So yeah, Dr. Mumby talked about vibrations and intentions being in the food. Homemade ice cream made with love, very different experience. Flavorfully, did I make up that word? Flavorfully, spiritually. Don't you think the energetic signature of homemade style food will be better for you than highly processed, made to travel kind of food? Excuse me. She said restaurants are the worst, especially the chain restaurants. Anything that uses pre-packaged ingredients instead of homemade ingredients. Look, I understand the need for pre-packaged ingredients from a business standpoint. I totally get it. But from a human thriving standpoint, no, we're causing chronic illness here. And there's soybean oil, P.S., in everything. And if it's not soybean oil, it's canola oil. What's a canola? We know what soybean is. It's just this highly allergenic, highly processed, gets stuck in your joints and causes arthritis. See, no seed oils here. Oh, it's in everything. I went to the salad dressing aisle. I hope I didn't tell you the story. Well, if I did, here you go again. Of my local supermarket chain, and I was in the salad dressing aisle looking for a salad dressing made with olive oil. And only olive oil. Because the term made with means that could just be one of the many ingredients in the thing. Made with. So, the ones that did say olive oil, you look, and there's a parenthesis next to the olive oil. Well, it's an olive oil blend. Olive oil blend, including canola, safflower, soybean. Like, oh, you can't be serious. If you want olive oil based salad dressing, you have to just make it yourself. That's it. Mayonnaise, same problem. I was like, well, Hellman's makes an olive oil mayonnaise. No, with olive oil. Still full of soybean oil. And when I did finally find some organic brand that was made with only olive oil, eggs, and some spices, because nobody buys it, it was so stale and disgusting tasting. And I have a feeling because it was so stale and disgusting tasting, that it was one of those olive oil blends. Because isn't olive oil like a preservative? If it's pure, it doesn't go bad as easily as these other industrial oils. Mm-hmm. So I don't use mayonnaise as much as I used to love Hellman's mayonnaise, the one and only mayonnaise. I use sour cream and mustard now, and I'm none the wiser for it. It's just great because I like tuna fish. It's cheap and low calorie, and yeah, I know dolphins and mercury. I get it. But the sour cream and the mustard is better. So, hey, be careful about where you source your food from. Whether it's ingredients or vibrations, you choose. Choose wisely. Please hit the like button. Leave me a comment, even if it's a heart. Please share this with anybody you think might benefit. This video will be going on the Professor Lisa Sarge's channel. I didn't talk about you-know-who, so it's not going on the Daughters of Difficult Mothers channel. I think I might start separating out into different channels so that it's more subject specific. We'll see how it goes. I'll see you tomorrow with another video because I said I would. Be well, take care, and eat well. Eat as clean as you can.